How to use Microsoft Planner to manage projects. Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys step by step on how you can use Microsoft Planner to use as a project manager, not only as a simple tool to manage your daily activities, but for you to be able to establish really nice organizational pipelines for your projects. So let's get started. Now, to get started with Planner, all you have to do is head on over to your Planner account on the top left on your Microsoft 365 account, and then you're going to click on your apps icon. Once you do that, you're going to click on Planner. Now, once you click on Planner, this is what your Microsoft 365 Planner is going to look like. So in this, on the left, you have a pane that you can toggle out or toggle in, like so. And in this, you have three different sections. You have a section for your day, then you have a section for your tasks, and then you have a section for your plan. Now, a section for your plan can serve as the space where you're going to be creating your project management spaces. So for different projects, you can create different plans in the Microsoft Planner. So for this, you can either click on Plan on the bottom, or you can click on Plan on the top right. Once you click on New Plan, you have two options. So you can either get started with a basic plan and customize the lists and boards yourself. However, if you're someone that requires a bit of help whenever they are setting up their projects, you can use some of their basic and premium templates, including simple project management, software development, business plan, and employee onboarding templates. So we're going to click on project management, and once we do, we will actually see some of the basic benefits, and we are going to click on project management. Once we do that, we can see we have a bunch of different groups. So I'm going to be choosing this particular group, which is the team that I want to be included in this particular plan. Now, if you only want to create a plan that is for yourself, then you can skip this option. You don't necessarily have to include a group. However, if you do have a team, you can just create a group with that team. Once you create that group with that team, you're going to be able to add them to this particular project. So for this, I'm going to be adding this particular space. I don't think I have any team members added in this particular group, but we're just going to add it anyways. Now, you can also check this option and make this a pinned plan. You can do this later on as well. Once you do that, just click on create and your plan will be created. Now, all these plans are completely customizable. So even if your project has more statuses or more lists that you want to create, you can easily create them using the Microsoft Planner. And all of this is built in directly with the Microsoft 365 subscription. If you have a 365 subscription, then these basic project management features are included in your planner. Now that we have built our plan, this is what the template looks like. So it has a couple of different lists, and we have a grid view. We also have a board view, a scheduling view, and then a charts view. Now, on the top left, the title of the project has been added. So by default, because this template was called Project Management, it's going to be called Project Management. The first step is to change the name. Click on Project Management on the top left and then pick the name for your particular project. So for us, let's say this is going to be my Apple marketing project, or let's say this is my Alpine project. And I'm just going to name this. And then once we do that, you have your group information and you can choose the privacy of this particular project as well. So if you want anyone in your organization to be able to see this plan's content or only members, I only want members to see. Now, once we've done that, we're going to go into the board view. The reason why we're going to be working in the board view rather than the grid view is because it's easier to manage buckets over here. So you will see on the top right, you have different ways that you can categorize or group items together based upon who they're assigned to, their progress, due dates, labels, and priorities. But the easiest thing is a bucket. Buckets can be customized and you can label your own buckets. And these are these little lists over here. So for our basic project manager, we have initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, closing. Now, I want to add a different categorization system. So I'm going to alter these a little. Instead of initiating, we're going to have our task list, or let's say this is going to be our task bulk or task home. Then instead of planning, I want this to say in progress. And I don't want two different statuses for in progress, that is executing and in progress, or planning and then executing. I want them to be the same status. So I'm going to put these together. Then I'm going to click on these three dots on the top right. And then I can click on delete. And then just like that, we have delete. Then we have monitoring and controlling. Now, if I want, I can close this, but I think it's fine. So I'm going to move on to the next, which is closing. Now, instead of closing, I wanted to say closed. And then after that, instead of closed, I think a better status to reflect this would be completed. Now, if you're uncertain about the different types of task statuses that you want to assign, you can easily go into ChatGPT and ask it to build a simple pipeline for project management. So if I ask ChatGPT to build me a simple pipeline or project management, what it's going to do is that it's going to define some basic stages. So initiating, planning, execution, monitoring, and control. So we have, a bunch of different options, but it is pretty much the same as the default version on the Microsoft Planner. Now, moving on, once we have created these different buckets, we can proceed with adding tasks. Now, whenever you add a task, first off, you're going to enter the task name. Let's say it is going to be to identify market gaps in the mountain resorts, like this. Once I add that, if I click on the task that I just added, I can assign it to a particular person that is present within the project group. Below that, you can add a label, and your labels are going to have a color. You can assign a specific title to every label. Instead of just labeling it pink, blue, or red, I can change the color pink, and then I can change the label for this. Let's say this is an urgent task, so I'm going to enter the label of urgent. If there are any other labels that I would like to dictate, let's say if this belongs to a particular group. So let's say this is supposed to be done by my R&D department, or this task is related to R&D. I can add the label of R&D. Then we are going to select the bucket it's present in. Then we have the progress. Then we have the priority. Now you guys can see priorities are already added as a field, so I can remove the label for it. So let's say this is urgent. Then we have our start date and the due date. Let's say the due date is for Tuesday. Then you can also add if a task is repeating. We're going to be discussing this later on, so we're going to leave that for now. Now, below that, you can add notes into your tasks. So I can add any particular requirements of the tasks, any important thing that is related to the task, and any other bit of information that I want to provide to the person that is meant to complete the task. Below that, you can add a checklist. So in this checklist, if a larger task is added, you can simplify it into sub-items. I'm going to be using ChatGPT to build sub-items. Build subtasks for and V. Build subtasks like this. And you guys can see market research, and then we have competitor analysis. So I can add the checklist, which is market research, competitor analysis. I'm not going to focus too much on the spelling. Need assessments, like this. So on and so forth, you can add a checklist. Now, whenever you add a checklist, you have two options if you want to display the checklist on the card or not. I want to display this on the card, so I'm going to check this option. Then after that, you can see that whenever a item is completed like this, it's going to be marked like so. So you can see some visual progress whenever you are creating a task. You guys can see the visual progress over here. You will have the due date displayed as well. Below that, you can also attach any attachment. This includes files from your team account, files or a link from a URL, or files directly uploaded from your computer. Then you can also add comments as well. And at the end, you will be able to view all the activity present within this task. Now, once we have a task, once I mark something as completed like so, it's going to be removed like this. Either I can move it to the end if I want to keep all of my completed tasks visually available, I can keep them over here, but if I mark them as completed, they're going to be removed. So depending on your personal preferences, you can set it accordingly. Now let's say we complete the need assessment. Now it's going to show me that all of the 3 subtasks have been completed. However, until the subtasks are not completed, they're going to be displayed right under the card. Now, when my project has started, or when I've started on this task, or whoever is assigned, so I'm going to assign myself like this. Now, whoever is assigned can move the task across the different buckets that they are present in. Now, this is one way for project management. However, if you want, you can also go into your schedule tool and directly add tasks to every day, like so. Instead of having to add tasks manually, you can also add tasks in bulk. So you can click on Add Task on the right, and you will see all of your unscheduled tasks. So, for example, I have to build a new app for X resort, and I also have to build a staircase design like this. So we have a couple of different tasks that haven't been set on any due date. If I go into the schedule tool over here, you will see on the right, it shows me my tasks that are not scheduled, and I can drag and drop them to a particular date. But if my task is larger and I know it's going to take multiple different days to be completed, I can simply hold the task like so and drag it across multiple dates. So let's say I have till the 25th to complete this. I can set it up like this where it has a start date and a due date. However, if your task is a task where you only want to set a due date, then just hold the task from one end, so the starting end, or you can directly just click on this and change the start date to the date that it's due. So you only have like one date that you have to take care of. So on, I can drag the rest of my tasks as well. Then after that, you have a charts section within your planner. In your chart section, you have statuses, buckets, as well as priorities, members, and different types of charts. So you will see on the right, it's still going to give you a summary of all your tasks, but you will have some visual outputs or visual cues on the progress of your tasks. This displays how many tasks are left, how your buckets are, so which bucket has the most tasks. Then you have priorities as well as members, who is getting assigned how much work. Now, if we go into the grid view, it basically gives us a list view of everything. And this is really nice to do when you're trying to view priorities or progresses or labels or what tasks are assigned to who. Now, this is one way for project management. There's an alternate way, and this is just one project space. Now, let's say I have another project, but I want to function that differently. I can click on New Plan, and I'm going to be proceeding with a basic plan over here. And we're going to get started from scratch. In this particular project, I am going to be using categorizations based upon the team that it is related to. So let's say my business is called Meraki, and I'm just going to click on Create over here. Now a blank planner has been created. From there, I can build my own buckets. So instead of a to-do section, I'm going to build a section for finance tasks, for marketing, or for operations and HR, or just operations. Let's say these are the three major departments in my business, and I want to add tasks for them without having their buckets be separated. So people that are from the finance team can just look at the bucket from the finance section, and people working with marketing can just look at the marketing bucket to see their progresses. Now I can add tasks. So it's to set up payroll or payout for XYZ refund, and then it's to payroll for January. And then in the meeting tasks, I can click on add task. Or in the marketing tasks, let's say I have to build one short for a product like this. After that, we can add tasks for operations, so on and so forth. But you might say, hey, how is this going to work? How am I going to know what's the progress? Well, when you build or structure your project manager like this, you're going to open up each individual task and you can go on ahead and set up progresses. So you can click on in progress and it's going to show you the symbol, and then people can set it up as completed. Once something is set up as completed, it's going to be removed from the task list. So only incompleted tasks are present over here. And whenever you're trying to view one particular department's progress, you can just view the progress of that particular bucket, and you will be able to see how productive each department is. Especially if you're trying to work with two teams that are doing similar functions, it's really nice to build a board for them in a project manager where their two particular teams or two particular sections in your business are added in the same board, and you're able to easily monitor how much work each team is doing, and that just makes it easier for you to quantify their progress. Now, again, you can pretty much do the same thing in your scheduling tool and in your grid tool as well. However, if you want to pin any particular plan, so if any projects are highly important, you can just pin them by clicking on the top left and they will appear on the left over here. Now, I can also assign members directly and I can add labels as I want. Keep in mind that your labels that you create in one particular space are not going to be transferred onto the other. So, different projects or different plans can have different labels that are created for them individually. And you can also click on share on the top right to invite members or add it to a existing group, and all the people that are present within that group are going to be added by default into your project space. However, sometimes even though you're working in a project, you might want to look at your individualized view. So, for that, if you click on My Day on Planner, this will automatically display any of your tasks that are incomplete or that need to be completed for the day. Then you will have a section called My Tasks. This is going to display all of your tasks that are assigned to you. Then within that, you can filter out private tasks, assigned to me, or flagged emails. This allows you to focus on your personal work without being disturbed by multiple different projects at once, while still staying on top of your projects. Then you have a My Plans section, which will display all of the plans. So we have our Alpine project and our Meraki project that has been created. You can also see any of your shared, personal, or pinned projects over here. However, one other thing to note is that not only are you able to build projects, but you can click on the bottom left arrow and click on Portfolio, and you can proceed with a portfolio for further categorization of projects. One other thing to note is that you can create recurring tasks. For example, for most projects, you're going to have a weekly meeting or a weekly catch up, whatever you might have. If you have any type of recurring occurrences of a task in your project space, simply click on Add New Task, and I'm going to go in the board view for this. I'm going to click on Add Task, and this is going to be our weekly meeting. Once I do that, I'm going to open this up. And once I open this up, I'm going to select a repeat option. So this is a weekly meeting, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to click on the weekly option. Then I'm going to select the due date. So every time, let's say it's on every Monday. I'm going to select the 13th as the due date, and then by default on the 20th, the task is going to recur and happen again. It's going to be added again. So if I set 6 as the due date, like this, you guys will see this is a recurring task like this. So after the 6th, it's going to happen on the 13th, like so. You can also set up things like daily tasks, weekday tasks, monthly, yearly, or customized intervals. So if you have a bi-weekly meeting or if you have a bi-monthly meeting, you can add those by going into customized. And let's say it repeats on the first, occurs every week on Monday. And then I'm going to click on save. And now every week on Monday, it's going to create this task. And then I can mark it as completed if our Monday meeting has been completed without having to manually think about whether or not the task has been done or not. You guys can see I completed that one, so it's showing me that on the 20th now we have a meeting. If I mark that as completed, it's going to create another task for the next week. So now it's displaying the 27th. So on and so forth, your task is going to be created by default. Now, all of this is included in your amazing Microsoft 365 subscription, and you can easily manage your project using the Microsoft Planner application. It's so much more than a basic planner that you can use as an individual, but you can also use it with your entire organization. And if you're someone that is looking to get started with projects, Microsoft Project has their own individualized project tool. However, Microsoft Project is not included in the default subscription that you might have for 365, so you're going to have to subscribe to that separately, but you can browse around on Microsoft Project if you do feel like that the planner is not going to take care of all of your project management needs. A Microsoft Project subscription is the natural upgrade. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you are now able to get started with Microsoft Planner's project management tools. They're amazing, efficient, and great for anyone that's already using the Microsoft 365 ecosystem. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.